Okay, the first thing we want to do is understand what this graph looks like. Y equals 1 over x. And to visualize any new graph that you haven't seen before is to just plug in some table of values. Okay, so if you plug in 0 in there, that's restriction, it's undefined. So let's not plug in 0 because it's just undefined. Let's start with maybe a 1. So if it's 1, if you plug in 1 in there, you get 1. If you plug in 2, it becomes half. If you plug in 3, it's a third. And then it's a quarter, right? And then it's a fifth. And it gets increasingly hard to draw, but you definitely do know that it's going towards, okay, it's going towards the x-axis. The question is, does it ever touch? Right? So the question is, if I put in a really large value in here, does it become 0 somewhat? No, it doesn't become 0, but it does certainly get really close to 0. For example, if you had a 1 over, let's use powers of 10, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually 0.12341, right? That's really, really small value. That's really, really close to 0. And the bigger value I put in here, the list of zeros is just going to get longer and longer and longer. So this is going to approach 0, close to the x-axis. Now this line here, it's a line which the graph is approaching, right? So we have a name for that. A line which the function approaches is called an asymptote. Okay. The definition is, it's a line that's not part of the function where the function is approaching. Okay, and this particular one is called a horizontal, okay, a horizontal asymptote. Now let's see what happens if I plug in half. Because it's a reciprocal, 1 over half is 2. Right? If I plug in a third, I get 3. Right? If I plug in a quarter, I get 4. And it's like a perfect symmetry along y equals x. Okay, so this is going to approach upwards. Okay, it's also going to approach the line here, which is the y-axis. Okay, this is also an asymptote because the function is approaching it. And it's called, of course, not horizontal, but vertical asymptote. Okay, and this graph, if you plug in -1, you get -1 or -2. It's exactly the same as positive. It's just negative, right? So -half. So it looks like that. Okay, and it's a perfect mirror image on y equals x, and it's also a perfect mirror image on y equals -x. Okay, so we're going to do some transformation on this graph in the following section.